Today I will talk about behavior observation based on outside open space. Human behavior and psychological activities are often inseparable. Human thinking are often be expressed in specific behavior. There are always rules to human behavior because behavior and psychological activities are often affected by the environment. Based on this view, I observed human behavior in fixed places. This is an observational case study. The topic is human activities, behavior, and psychological. I'm going to talk about human behavior in a fixed site and analyze the psychological and social factors associated with the behaviors. In order to observe as much human behavior as possible, I choose the outdoor open space with a large flow of people. This study will be divided into two parts. Firstly, I will objectively analyze the human behavior and the psychological. I took photographs and observed them for a week. In the process, I collected people's different behavior at different time periods and the same time in the fixed places. Secondly, I will make some constructive suggestions on the existing design based on observed results. For example, add more private space and set up a waiting area. There are the main background researches I used in my observational case study. In the past 2 weeks, I have conducted 5 observations on the site. The main time is between 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. 4 times is in the working day and only 1 is in the weekend. According to the number of people at different time points, the numbers of people in the afternoon of the site can be predicted. First, in the same day, the number usually peaks between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and there is basically no one after 7 p.m. Secondly, at different days of same time, the number of people on the working day usually similar, and there is basically no one on the weekend. Next, I will make some introduction to the current situation of the site. According to the environmental cognitive theories about legibility of outdoors, a site located between the V block and the M block. It is a public space with only a roof and open on 4 sides. This space is separated from the surrounding space by raised ground and roof. Its edge is raised steps on all sides. It is about 27 meters long and 8 meters wide. The perimeter of the site is the road to the other blocks, and people can approach the site from the roads on the both sides of the site. People are free to enter the site from all sides. Entering the site requires 2 steps and set up a barrier-free passage on inside of the site. I think its located is relatively hidden and not very convenient for people with disabilities to notice and use. On the north side of the site, there is a small coffee shop. On the south side of the site, there are snack vending machines and microwave ovens outside the library, where students can heat their own food. There are 12 benches, 8 tables, 5 chairs, 7 bean bags, and 11 short wooden benches in the site. I used the PAD emotion state model to perform an emotional appraisal. During the observation, I found that people generally show a happy or quiet mood when people get together and talk. Their smile and laughter show their happy mood. When people are alone, their emotions are usually not leaked, but their comfortable and natural posture can be seen in their quiet heart. And the surrounding environmental also bring possible emotions such as colored furniture in the site, bring sunlight, fresh air, and lovely sounds around. People at this time should feel free and unconstrained, and their behavior is controllable. According to the physical theories of the emotional assessments, we can get situation of environmental load. There are 3 aspects to this environmental load, namely intensity, complexity, and novelty. In terms of the intensity, strong daylight at noon on sunny weather is part of the site's environmental load. In terms of the complexity, the site is not complicated in terms of accessibility. People can easily to enter the site through the surrounding steps, and the barrier-free access also ensures the right of the disabled people to enter the site. The plain of the simple rules of the site also ensures the site is understandable. However, the entire site is complex in terms of the slide and smell. The different seat types and the chaotic seat placement makes the slide complicated, and the smell of coffee and seeds makes the smell complex. In terms of the novelty, the lack of the familiarity between the freely placed seats and the open environment around the time makes the site less familiar. At the same time, I also use Brunswick's framework to do the perceptual appraisal. From the photo, we can see the color and the materials of furniture, such as chairs and tables, have caused visual confusion, and there are too many types of chairs. People appear crowded in the field. What makes you feel comfortable is the height of the roof of the site. These conditions give people a subjective feeling that is not beautiful. Okay, now I will enter an analysis of human behavior and activities. When people are alone, they will sit on the beanbag to relax. Most people will look down at the phone or focus on work. They mostly wear headphones, immersed in their own world. Isolated the desire to communicate. The space these people need is a provide safe and secure rest and workspace. When people have companions, their behavior becomes a distraction or sitting down to eat. At this time, they have a high desire to communicate. Their attitude is open and they need a low, provide open and safe space. Because there is a small coffee in the site, it constitutes some special behavior such as ordering and waiting. In my observation, people were a little inconvenient when they were waiting because of the lack of tables and the lack of seats in the coffee shop. People can only stand and wait or temporarily put the cup on the chair. Overall, the site can adapt it to different functional requirements and is suitable for different users. It is safe, but is not suitable for specific activities. The site doesn't clearly define function space, and people's behavior occurs randomly throughout the whole space. In the observation, I clearly noticed the existence of the provide space. The radius of the provide space is about 1.2 meters. When two strangers sit on the same bench, they automatically maintain a distance of about 1.2 meters. When two or three people are together, their provide distance is significantly less than 1.2 meters. The physical impact that affects such behavior is individuals who work in relative isolation may need more space than those who work more with others. It can be seen in the photos that the social distance between the two men is much smaller than when the two men are together. This is due to the difference in attractiveness between genders. Research shows the attraction is a stronger influence on personal space than genders similar, and the pleasantness of manner increase. Personal space decrease sheepness or sadness draws women closer. Moreover, for partnerships such as people discussed in the picture, they sat close together and sat together in a corner. People those wishing to cooperate choose closer sides and seats and sit more than at an angle. Regarding the privacy of human behavior, I have observed that when people are alone, they will focus on their own things with their headphones, while a group of people will focus on others. These differences can show the privacy retail and individuals need when they are alone. The privacy requires for group discussion is much higher. For the environment, the site is less provide. Pedestrians passing by the view habitually look at the situation inside the site, and people in the site will also form a line of sight with people outside the site. This environment gives people a sense of security as people feel safer when they can easily see and be seen. Furthermore, there is a territorial behavior in the site. It is observed in the photo that people get together to form an invisible field. And the position of the seat lifted after people leave is more intuitive. Although many people gather, we can clearly distinguish that they have two groups of people, precisely because they each have their own territory. The reason for this territorial behavior is the cohesiveness between them, distinguishing between people and strangers they are familiar with. The entire site has skills and functions that are suitable for people to use. A safe and open environment that attracts students passing by. With low privacy, this site will welcome all types of people, and it is also accessible and very user-friendly. But it lacks organization and the various functional space are mixed, and the lack of the necessary coffee waiting area and the space for eating is not a complete design. In the new program, I placed the barrier-free sites to the west of the site, close to the mainstream line for the disabled to enter. In addition, new tables and chairs were added in front of the coffee shop to form a coffee waiting area, and the space were divided by a short green wall. I placed the public space on the south side of the base near the main stream line, and placed the quiet space on the north side of the more concealed site. The middle was divided by green space to form two areas of motion and static. A dining area was designed in the northeast corner of the site near the microwave oven. The overall division of the space with arcs makes the space less boring. Different area has choosing different colors of ground and different shapes of furniture to create a different space atmosphere.